Jean-Serge Gagnon here. Today we're going to be talking about your social media accounts. You know, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Instagram. Um, there's Tumblr, there's Pinterest. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different ones. We're going to focus on just a few of them. But today I want to talk to you about how to set up your social media accounts. You know, how do you set that up? You know, what's the best practices? You know, we're going to get into the basics of this because that's part of this audio, this course, this thing that I'm putting together, and you know 10 days to your first automated online sale. So this is step number 2 in the process, and we're going to be talking about your profile. Like, you know, if I go, for example, I show you here, you know, my Facebook page, you can see that on my page I've got, you know, a cover photo, which is what I try to do is make it family oriented. And one of the things you got to remember is that, you know, if you and I also have, you know, a fan page over here. And actually, you know what we're going to do right now? We're just going to reload the page. And while I talk about this, so you know, you don't have to have a fan page when you're starting out, but it's a good idea to set one up pretty quickly, because on Facebook, if you're in business, you eventually are going to want a fan page. If you don't want it in the beginning, and you don't set it up right away, then you know it's all about people. When they see it, they see how long it's been around, that kind of stuff, right? So it's a good idea to get it set up in the beginning and start posting there too. But and the thing is, you have to remember is that actually, so the reason I wanted to do this is because I wanted to actually share this live that I'm doing right now. So let's just share that to my timeline. Just share it on my main page. And this is one of the things you got to be doing, right? So you're posting content, you're sharing to your to different, if you've got different pages, you're sharing to your profile, that kind of stuff. And live right now. All right. And you know, you're sharing to your profile, you're sharing to other things. Like for me, I do sharing, and this is not about how to set up your account, but anyways, okay, so set up your account. There's a couple things. First, you're going to notice here that I've got a profile picture on my Facebook page. I got a profile picture on my well, that's my profile. And then when I go to LinkedIn, you see I got the same profile picture. When I go to Twitter, you see I got the same profile picture. On Pinterest, I have the same profile picture again. On Instagram, I have the same profile picture. So all these different platforms, I'm using the same profile picture. Now this is congruency. You got to be congruent. And if you'll notice, across the ones that have like a banner page, we have the same. I have the same banner page, right? On across the different platforms. So that's the other thing. So you got to be consistent. You got to be consistent, congruent across your different platforms. So that's one thing. The other thing that you don't want to be doing is you don't want to be posting about business, about your links. You don't want to be, you know, sharing things that are about. You don't want to be salesy. So you want to be personally branding yourself, not your company. You know, this is such an important thing. If you're branding a company, then you're not in business for yourself. That's the business. And it, you know, it could be okay if you've got a coffee shop, you've got a real estate business, whatever, you know, it could be okay. But just remember that that's all it's going to be about. It's going to be about that business, right? It's going to be focused on that business. And people will not connect with you for any other reason than to, you know, be in business with you, right? And you might not want that. How do you know that in 5, 10 years from now, you're not going to want to change what you do, right? You're not going to want to change the business. And especially if you're in a home-based business, you know, you never know. Those companies, they come and go, or they change their plans, or they change things that they're doing, and maybe you don't like it anymore or whatever, right? Things change, right? So you got to remember that those things, it's better to brand yourself. And that means that in your profile, you're going to want to make things personal, right? So over here, I've got in Facebook, for example, I've got pictures of my family, pictures of, you know, things that we did. I've got a picture of an event here, if you know Eric Warrior. So that, you know, I'm kind of including things that have to do with, you know, business. And, you know, I'm sharing things that have to do with, you know, just general things that I'm interested in, and whatever, right? Now I also share a lot of my personal pictures, because I actually post daily videos, right? If you've been following me, you know this. I post daily videos. And you know, when you look at other platforms, the only exception I would say to the personal branding thing is LinkedIn, because on LinkedIn you really want to be doing something that's more around, you know, sorry, that's more around uh, work, right? So job, or if you're really like into a home-based business, or if you're a full-time business owner, then it'd be about your business, whatever. I've always kind of used it as my job until I'm able to work full-time online. This, you know, this is for a job because I'm actually a consultant. I take 6-month, 1-year contracts. So that means that I'm always looking for a new contract, right? Until I make enough money online that I don't have to have a job, which is my goal. I still have to use LinkedIn for that, right? So, and you know, Twitter, it's more about automation. We're not going to get into that, but Twitter is I automate 90% of 99% of the stuff that's on there. These are all just things that are automated on here, but the content is still kind of around the audience, and this is the thing. It's around the audience. It's around your personal life. So you gotta make sure that, you know, you make things in a way that is about your personal life or your audience and what they're. So here's an example. So if you're in health and wellness, for example, well, you're going to be posting things about being healthy, you know, about being well, about being happy. You know, it could be yoga, it could be exercises you're doing, it could be, you know, food you're eating. So it's about life, right? About life around what your audience is interested in. So that's the thing. So you kind of have to, and the thing is that I didn't cover choosing your audience, finding your audience, that kind of stuff in this in the first video, and this is number 2, like I said, because it's not that important to know your audience when you first get started. Because first, when you get started, like I said, you got to have, and this is the other thing, on all platforms, you mostly have this little intro, right? So I use the same intro on all my platforms. And then in Facebook, for example, you can see I have different jobs I had. You know, I've also, you know, my personal life there, what pages I manage, that kind of stuff. I have my links down here to different social media, different websites I do. So, you know, you don't want to make it like super, like tons and tons of stuff, but at least a few things so that people can kind of look at this and they see, oh, this person is into that, or this person likes this. This person's a photographer, person like tennis, likes hikes, likes, you know, beautiful sunsets, whatever. The kinds of stuff that makes you tick, you know, the kinds of stuff you like. So that's what it's important on your social media. You got to make sure that you're personal, that you're relatable, that people can relate to you, not a business, all right? And you got to be congruent across your platforms. You got to make sure you use the same profile picture so people can recognize you. And even if you can, if you're starting out, you want to make sure that all your accounts are the same. Like me, I use Jean-Serge Gagnon in almost all my accounts. There's a couple of them that I started in the very beginning, got success with JS, or my Facebook is even older than that, so it's not even related. But still, I have my fan page, which is Jean-Serge Gagnon, right? So you try to use the same name everywhere, because you're also later going to be setting up a blog, maybe you're going to be setting up a website or funnels or that kind of stuff. You should be using the name, you know, .com if you can. If you can use that same name across all your platforms, that's even ideal. All right. So congruency, you know, being the same across, being personal, and making sure that there's also the consistency. That though these are other things for some other time. But all right, so let me just go back here to just the camera. So that's, you know, whoops, wrong one. No, this one here. So that's it. So today, that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you got some value from this, of course, share this video. Share it out. Make sure your friends get access to it. And I would appreciate if you commented, you know, let me know where you're watching from. You know, if you have any questions, that kind of stuff. I'd love to hear your questions. And yeah, so make sure you enable the notifications if you're watching on live, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube, and yada, 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 and all that stuff, right? And go to masterofsimple.com, put in your name, and get on my email list if you're not already there. All right, so you have yourself a great day. We'll talk again soon.